Yeah, guys, hopefully you're ready for this. I know I am. Make sure you guys check out the Twitter and repost, please. Tell everyone about tonight's game. Let's get some love, some hype, and some interest back in this. Go ahead and plug that back out on Twitter. Let everyone know about it so we can kick this thing back off. What do you guys think? What do you think?
Once he actually figures out what's going on, he peeks in. Here's Klaus on top of this fallen guard who's trying to kick it off. Try to go ahead and do ghost sound. Of course, that's when chat decides to put in wild magic. So then this 60 feet of fog starts rolling out the room.
Why?
And the guards are just like, nope.
I can't figure out why on earth you're peaking in volume.
Let me see if I need to. I might need to change the server region back over.
Sniper sounds like doo-doo to me, too.
Yeah?
Oh.
Yeah, you might be using the wrong mic. Could be as simple as that.
It just keeps popping on my end, and I don't know why.
Do I sound good?
Yeah, you sound just fine.
You sound like Xander. It's about as good as you're going to get, though.
Input device. Yeti.
Change it. Change it back.
I have a theory.
Try turning it off and back on again.
Testing.
Sounds the same. Try restarting your Discord, I guess.
That any better?
Sounds the same.
Wait, he doesn't have his fucking headset sitting on above him again, does he?
What do you mean?
His mic? Oh no, he bought a Yeti or something.
Yeah, he's got a Yeti. It's just not picking up for some reason.
What headset are you using?
It's a Logitech G
920?
953, I think.
Same one as I have, right?
No,
testing.
533. Sorry.
Nice.
Okay, I can't figure out why it's popping real bad on there, and something is just eating up resources left and right. Not sure what it is. I think it's OBS, if I'm being totally honest. I feel like it's OBS. I need to go ahead and mitigate some things real quick. Give me just a moment, guys. Plus, I need to fix their cameras. Okay. Look at this ugly bastard. God love him. Wait, Thelsa's in the right spot. What am I doing? Watch, he's going to turn his camera on. It's going to fuck everything up. Guaranteed. 10 out of 10. No, it did not, actually. Interesting. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. Let's try that now. I don't know what's happened. I think it's something to do with the resources on the PC. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure it out. Either way, it looks like it's good, like it's all taken care of. So, lads, let's talk about what happened last time on the Shackled City in Cauldron. Oh boy.
So, last thing that happened in Shackled City, we essentially agreed on that Thelsa didn't make it in time to the tip tankard due to the power outage on Ninny's end. But we made it so that like we said, Thelsa didn't make it in time. So at that point, Jacob was the one to have to go to the tip tanker to warn Klaus that he does have a warrant out for his arrest, and not just the image of Sir about Spell Mason, but the one of Artist Offense and his original body as well. Getting to the tankard, Jacob did see that there were guards already surrounding the place, making their way inside to the tankard itself. From there, he kind of had to improvise as to how he was going to get Klaus's attention. And from here, I'll let him describe the little fiasco that went on with that.
Yeah, this will be good.
Do we really have to?
Wait. Actually, I might have the perfect thing for this. Bear with me. Hold on. Hold that thought.
Did you preload Jolene? I swear to fucking God. I'll drive to Indiana. I got 17 hours to spare. Let's fucking go.
Go for it.
Get 12 hours in and then get called back to work.
Nah, he's got it on. Yeah. Okay. So, running down to the tip tanker to find Klaus and let him know, hey, just so you know, Law's looking for you. He comes across the tip tanker and finds that there's 2 guards standing out front. Not wanting to go ahead and create a fiasco, he goes around to the side alley where he knows Klaus's window is and starts throwing pebbles.
Yeah.
So, of course, the guards decide to go ahead and run a circuit and find him throwing these pebbles at the window, and they're like, "Oi, what you doing?" Just trying to go ahead and get the attention of one of the ladies of the night because my bar tab's so high, they won't let me in.
Yes.
And of course, they're like, well, we know all the girls. Which one are we talking about? Jolene?
Jolene! Why Jolene?
I was just scrambling for a woman's name and immediately Dolly Parton popped in my head.
I thought you were just going to say Joe popped into your head and then you just got it.
And you know, I haven't heard that song in years, but you know, RN Jesus being what he is.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, no, we haven't met this girl. Let's, you know, keep going. We'll go ahead and meet her.
Sure, yeah.
So, of course, Jacob starts throwing pebbles again. Jolene! Jolene!
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. And, of course, Klaus chooses that time to wake up and
He does, in fact.
he scampers over to the window and takes a peek over the ledge.
All too convenient, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, and sees this wonderful gentleman with with a guard and just calling out that name. And no, I'm going to go ahead and let Klaus explain his reasoning behind this one. Yeah,
This went from weird to weirder in about 3 combat rounds.
And then it gets progressively weirder.
I mean, realistically, it went from weird to weirder in about 8 words on my part, but yeah. I mean, that's
and
true.
it progressively got worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead, Klaus. What'd you do?
Yeah, hit me with it. I want some details from the mouth of Klaus.
I mean, I did what any logical human with magical powers would do, and decided to fuck with them real hard. Initially, I wanted to turn myself into a goat or a sheep, but change self doesn't allow that.
Correct.
So instead, I went with a halfling, except I'd kind of forgotten over the years what a halfling looked like. It didn't have the proportions quite right in my head. Like, one arm was slightly longer than the other, one shoulder sat a little higher. It was like I had been tossed into a carriage and just kind of wrapped up in the axles for a little while.
Yeah.
And then to top it all off, wasn't wearing much, just some loincloths, really. My hair was pretty much the color of blood. It looked like I had been soaked in blood. So this horrifying visage that I had now donned, courtesy of a spellbook that I've had for literally about 2.5 years of real time, like out of game. I decided to hop up on the windowsill and greet my gentleman caller and his guard friends. And what was his response to this?
The guard or Jacob's?
Jakob. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, you want to know about my reaction?
From the horse's mouth, yeah. Let's do it.
Well, of course, here's this halfling, malformed monstrosity standing in the window, covered in what looks like blood. So, thinking fast, Jacob says the only thing he can to try and explain away the situation.
Stay a
Oh,
while
good!
and
You're
listen.
not pregnant!
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay a while
Yeah.
and listen.
That's
Yeah. But it got the intended effect. The guard just kind of went, "Ugh," and walked away.
That's true. It did work.
So, of course, Jacob takes the moment to parkour his ass up the wall and slip into Klaus's window and explains, hey, dude, you know, the guard's looking for you. They've got wanted posters up. Well, of course I'm wanted. No, wrong posters. And that's when we start hearing footsteps on the stairs coming up, and they're starting to go door to door.
Yeah, they are.
Asking to search rooms. So, of course, Jacob, being a wise man, you know, smart little tiefling, dips out the window, swings up onto the ceiling, rooftops.
Narrowly missing that for the record.
Hey, there's a reason we got a tail. But gets on the rooftop and he's waiting for Klaus. But no, that would be too easy. What does Klaus do?
Well, Jolene. I don't know about Klaus, but I know what Jolene did. Jolene went under the bed and cast rage on herself, and then hung real tight to the bottom of the bed frame.
And this is
attempt
how
to not be seen.
this we spawned the legend of what did we call her? What was her name? It
The Scarlet Harlot.
Howling,
the Scarlet
yeah.
Harlot. That's right.
the Scarlet Harlot.
Just another terrifying thing to add to the tip tankard.
I mean, we've already had a vampire camel. You really can't get much more terrifying than that. I had to
Look,
really
Joe was
plumb the
great.
depths of my fucked up subconscious to get this one.
I really like Joe. Give me,
You know,
give
you
him a
should have
break.
really
He just had a hard life, okay?
Joe did have a hard
Joe-
life.
You should have turned into Malgrim transforming into a halfling. That way, when they found you, you could have just, I'm Malgrim, bitch! And then you just walk away.
Slam some faces into some tables, call it a day.
You just grab two heads and slide them together over and over until they're all knocked out and walk out and like nothing
Little did
happened.
you know Klaus this entire time was actually Malgrim.
To make matters worse, things went strange. Like very, very strange.
Stranger than they were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more so than the Scarlet Harlot. You were discovered. Who discovered you, Klaus?
Fucking Jimothy. Jimothy or Elliot. It was one of the sons. I don't remember
Elliot.
which.
Timothy was
Incapacitated.
incapacitated.
It's the
Right.
eldest son discovered you. And it was one of those like double take moments where he saw you, didn't think anything of it, and then realized, oh my god, there is a legend under my bed. The boogeyman, the Scarlet Harlot, turns, and then immediately backs away in terror. And then you can see the two boots sidle up to the side of the bed, and then the other man moving to the rear end. It got strange. It got really strange really fast. He kicked over the bed, and instead of just like screaming at him, you fucking rocketed your body directly at his face.
While
And
screaming
screamed.
at him.
And
Yeah.
screamed. Don't forget that part.
Yeah.
Landing a nat 20 intimidate to
It was-
scream.
It wasn't even just a it wasn't like ree. No, it was a very particular noise. Yeah.
Please, do it justice if you're going to do it. It was more like...
There you go. Not to mention the fog cloud that rolled from
From Jared.
from Jared.
Hey, I was
making
trying to
the,
do ghost sound.
The
Thank you,
tip
Jack.
tankard, the haunted tankard
Stay a while and listen.
for that evening. Whereas 4 guards came in and 4 more guards came in, realized that there was a haunting and or just straight up poltergeist going on in the tankard, and maybe it was time to go.
Maybe it's above their pay grade.
Maybe
All
what
I've
they
gotta
were
say-
looking for wasn't there.
All I've got to say is that Griffith now had a reason to ask Klaus why there was a half-naked, blood-covered halfling woman under his bed.
Look, he doesn't want to know the answer.
Yeah,
The real
no one
challenge
does.
is now the tale of the Scarlet Harlot is multiplicative, because there were, by my last count, 8 of these
Sick.
little motherfuckers running around his room.
I may or may not have cast mirror image in
Yeah.
the fog.
Yeah.
The scary thing about it was like the world's most terrifying whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Because every time your head revealed, it was like, it was fucking horrifying.
And we have no less than 7 witnesses that saw this. 6 guards and one of the owner's sons.
He's
So,
traumatized.
Oh,
I mean,
Griffith was up there too. So
If
Griffith
there was
and the owners.
ever a way to spread reputation through a town,
Yeah.
that was it.
Look, if he's gonna inherit the family business, he's got to inherit their monsters too.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
Gotta inherit the skeleton.
Outside of that fiasco, Klaus was indeed able to escape with Jakob. Going on from there, it transitioned back into Ulhime, essentially getting fed up with what's his homie's name?
What's his homie's name?
I have it. I don't know how to say it without looking at the. Nope, that's not.
You got this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give you a second. He's the leader of the court, temple court. Give me a second. I know his name.
He has it.
And his name is
John Sleep. No.
Oh, God.
no. Affleckir.
Ow.
He is the
Ben Affleck?
Nah. A little different.
what was the exact name? How do you say it?
I got you. His name, Lad?
Affleckir.
I think it's
That's
Ad.
what I had.
I think it is. It's Asvelkir.
Asvelkir.
Asvelkir Hronlert.
I remember because I laughed at his name.
Yeah. That's right. Asvelkir. Which that's not so bad. It's the Hronlert that follows. Just so much of a mouthful. Go on. Keep talking. Tell me more about Asvelkir and what's happening here.
So him being the leader of Temple of Cort, Ulhime went to him seeking a sense of and hoping to receive some form of help from him. And when he got there, he was met with he wasn't met with the reaction that he was expecting. Asvelkir essentially told him he had to wait until his companion showed up.
That's
But
right.
even after knowing that his form wasn't in peak condition and that he himself was being drained by this inner evil, Ulhime essentially begged him to help him, regardless if his friends were there or not. And he kept telling him, "No, like I don't."
Basically gave him
believe
the army medicine answer: take 2 aspirin and walk it off. Get clean socks.
It's and it didn't really sit well with Ulhime. He essentially chalked it up to he's simply someone who has an ability to help that just simply won't use it, and told him that the city doesn't need someone like that in his standing, and he walked away. Upon walking away, he ran into their newest ally, Cort Burstock. Quite lively fellow, and from what he explained to him, upcoming adventurer, somewhat seasoned adventurer, looking for work. Kind of being told that the work that he was probably looking for wasn't really going to be in the Temple of Cort. Ulhime asked if Cort could accompany him to another location in hopes to perform some sort of prayer. Cort agreed, and they were off to the renovated church. Upon getting there, they realized that the place was locked up, but Ulhime needed to find some way to get inside. So he ended up breaking the lock. But at that point, he also saw that Klaus and Jacob were also making their way through the streets and flagged both of them down.
Correct.
As we got inside, we were met with someone who possibly ran the church, but I don't think we got a name, if I remember correctly. But he asked us to one, to figure out who's going to compensate him for the door, and two, we had to leave. We couldn't be there.
Church was under renovation.
Further going double backing on what had happened before this, though. Klaus had these runes that were showing up on his body.
Yes.
These glyphs, in a sense, and as he started approaching the church,
what was that about?
The glyphs themselves were glyphs of the glyphs of Alakast.
It's the 12 rules of Alakast.
Correct.
No, not
No,
quite.
it was there were different rituals from Alakast. Certain ones being demon exorcism, certain forms of cleansing, just different things written in Celestial that, as far as we can tell, only Ulhime could read at the moment.
Sure. Let's hold there. I want to pass this over now to. I know Annie wasn't here, so let's pass this to Austin. I know he's had a week since to forget about most of this, but I've heard enough now that it's jogged my memory, and I run multiple games a week. So let's see if Austin can remember anything that's happened up to this point.
So we walked into a tree and there were some baboons.
All right, that was like 100 episodes ago.
Oh shit, was it?
Like 125 episodes ago.
That wasn't last week? Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Fucking stoners, man.
What we actually had happen was while we were talking to the church guy, we tried to get in, he said no, and then at the end of the alleyway, I believe it was Ulhime who saw a cloaked man who was bearing, it was an emblem similar to the emblem of Helm, but it had the eye was pierced, and it was with the backing of a falling sun, right? Like a dusk.
Well, rising sun.
Very
rising
close.
sun
Right, it was
pierced with
rising,
a tail, like a forked tail.
Yeah, and so I believe Ronald dropped whatever he was doing to basically tackle that motherfucker, like he had the ball.
But then something happened. What happened to this
He
figure?
dimension doored or blinked to Jacob, and he said the order of the rising dawn. I didn't.
No, there wasn't no dimension door to it. I think he just ran up and plunged a sword into my side.
He blinked because as I started running, he teleported.
He's right. He actually did bypass movement.
Oh, cool.
But it was the oh my gosh, it was the the Dawn group. I forgot. They're the ones essentially. It's a different order of clerics or paladins, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That essentially blame Jacob for the start of the end of the world.
The cataclysm.
Do you think they necessarily blame Jacob for it? I mean, what?
They screamed
they don't
out that
really...
he was the one who started this.
Well, to be fair,
They said it was his blood that started it. So whether it's him directly or his bloodline, they are looking for anyone related to him in that context.
Well,
Okay.
no,
So
I'm pretty sure they know exactly who I am, as he did say, "We remember Dawnbringer." Click.
Yeah.
And then broke the sword off in me.
And they don't seem to be the
Mhm.
type of kind of people who invite you to like chat over tea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where we ended off.
All right. Sounds juicy, I guess.
So, picking up where we left off.
Yeah, let me go ahead and set the scene for you guys, and we'll make this happen. Nick, thank you so much for 7 months in a row with that resub. I appreciate that, buddy. Here we go. So tensions are flaring. Things are happening. 10 points to Gryffindor if you can actually remember the name of the order of this individual.
Was it the Order of the Dawn Cataclysm? I don't fucking remember.
You're not too far off, to be honest.
I want to say it was the Order of the Rising Dawn because of the little sun emblem. I thought that's what you said.
It's something that I mentioned this off stream, so I know that it wasn't on camera, but it's something that I mentioned briefly off stream. So I would be quite impressed if you guys can recall.
Personally speaking, I just know it's the Order of Shank Jacob.
I like this order.
Shit, yeah. Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Okay, so what do they call Jacob?
Well, a lot of things.
What have they been calling Jacob up to this point?
Dawnbringer.
Dawnbringer.
Dawnbringer, yeah.
So it's something very closely related to that. You will hear those details further the further we get into today's session. Okay.
Oh, and we got another tier crit. Because Christy loves us.
I think someone just bought a Humble Bundle? I'm not sure. Not sure. I think so. I think that's the case. Okay. Perfect. So the scene has been set. The blade has been broke. Let's go ahead and let's get an initiative.
He didn't jump away after that, right?
He stepped away. He didn't teleport away, but he stepped back.
Yeah, he's obviously, he's not standing on him, but he's still there in the fight, right?
Yes, he is. So you guys may have an option, this may not necessarily come to blows. Knowing you guys, it will immediately, but...
You guys can see the roll, right?
Oh, yeah?
I actually can't see the rolls at all, so I don't know what's going on there.
Mine came up 12, Ulhime's came up 20.
I mean, I can see that, but...
The actual dice you can't?
Yeah, I think my 3D dice are off, but it's okay. It takes up more processes anyway.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Hey. Klaus, what's your initiative?
That would be...
That's rough. That's rough. Ulhime, what you got?
20.
Not Sunn. I'll remove that.
16.
Give me just a second. Thelsa, what you got?
I was just about to ask if you wanted one from me or not.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just roll it down. Sorry.
That's
So
fine.
will we just say that he met up with Jacob and
You guys would have reconvened.
Klaus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jacob, you got a 12.
17 from me.
I got a 25.
You get to shank me again!
Potentially. And your new name is Cort. That's just K-O-R-T?
C-O-R-T.
C-O-R-T.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you get, Cort?
16.
16. In descending order. I get to go first. So let's put that there. And we're going to find the proper combat music, lads. I am getting some audio back. If someone is... I think it's red. It is. Okay. Let's just go with this. A little too intense. Okay. This individual has stepped up to you immediately. And after breaking off the blade in your side, you did take the damage. And he steps back. And what exactly did he say to you, Jacob?
I believe he said, "We remember Dawnbringer."
We remember Dawnbringer. Yeah.
Or Dawnbringer.
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right.
So yeah, nothing good.
Let's see. Can I get a spellcraft, please, from anyone here that has it, that knows how to cast spells?
Absolutely.
I'm on it.
30.
19.
25.
Klaus gets a 24
That
and still
one.
critical fails. He gets a 24 and still critical fails. Okay.
Spellcast high.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Hey, I rolled a 6.
This isn't exactly a secret. Ulhime... Wait. So Thelsa will get it. Ulhime, you're sort of familiar with it, though you're not entirely sure. Jakob, you'll get it. Klaus, you'll get it. Obviously, Cort, you're not going to get it. He seems to be casting an invisibility spell.
Ha! He thought.
Seems to be casting an invisibility spell. So let me see... Briefly air.
Would Jacob be able to attack him because he's casting in front of him?
No, he stepped back away. And remember, he
Stay a while
blinked
and listen.
forward. But I mean, just because he's invisible doesn't mean he cannot be detected, right? Like, that's just the nature of the subject. You guys can still locate him if you succeed in perceptions, which some of you have incredibly high perceptions. Duration 1 minute saving throw. Okay. Sure. So in his round, his round looks like this. As he steps back away, he reaches up, tears something away from his face, and begins casting his spell. There's a brief flash in his hand, and his figure immediately disappears. Next in initiative, Ulhime.
Seeing that happen, I'll run over to Jacob and see if I can pull the broken blade out of him.
Okay. All right, you want to move over in the combat round with your I guess it's your offhand in this case?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about. It's technically my offhand, but I'm not dual wielding, so I don't know if it falls under the same stipulations. If it does, I take a -10 to any of my attacks. If not, then it's a regular attack.
I mean, in this case, like, any kind of skill or action that you'd be doing with your offhand is going to come at a negative. You're literally trying to do anything with an arm that you're not as comfortable with. You learn your entire life to utilize one arm as a lead, the other as an assist. You can start adapting, but until your arm comes back, you are going to be at a bit of a hindrance. So you want to move over? Tell me what you want to do here. Like, explain it to me.
Seeing as I was getting ready to charge forward and he blinked over. Right now, it's more of the frantic feeling that my friend's hurt.
Okay.
Not necessarily that the guy's still there, because I'm not sure if he disappeared or if he blinked. Because he said I from my roll I can't tell if it's either one. So with that, I'll run over to Jacob and see if I can pull the blade out of him.
Okay, give me a perception.
$20.
So the blade that's been dropped to the ground seems to have almost a breakpoint that seems to be notched into it. It does seem a little strange, like it was constructed to happen this way.
To break off in that, okay.
Yeah. And you can't actually see. You can't actually see where it's broken off inside. You don't know exactly how much has been removed. You can guess that it's probably about at least a foot, which is most of the internal capacity of this character in that horizontal space, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So as of right now, I can't see where it's at.
Correct. You cannot see the width of the blade. It does not seem to be revealing itself from the armor itself.
Well, not that there's any armor in the way, but yeah, there's a bloody gash, gouting blood.
So yeah, as I run up, I'll yell, Jakob, no, and I'll start like trying to hop over, and then when I get to him, where is it? The blade. Is it gone? What happened? Inside. Oh, damn it. And then that'll end my turn.
Okay. All right. Thelsa, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Stay a while and listen.
I know where he is for the most part, right?
You've got a general thought. You know that with your spellcraft, he can still move and cast this spell. It's not it's not a spell that literally requires him to be in a single spot.
All right. I'm gonna try and discern where he is. So I guess I'll roll a perception to get a better general idea.
Sure. Let's see what you got.
If you need it from me. If not, I mean, I could just roll. It's only been 6 seconds.
Yeah, give me any perception, please.
24.
Okay. You think
Ho ho ho! Who's
you
this?
think you have discovered at least the general area. You are picking up some telltale signs. So I'm going to kind of pass the buck over to you. Explain to me what you think you've picked up on that you would be seeing to at least kind of let you know that, hey, he's there.
From what I understand of it, it's along the lines of like when Predator goes invisible. It's like the ripples in the background. It's almost invisible, but you could just barely see it in... like you can't see anything, but you could see that there's something there. That's my interpretation of it. So I'm trying to discern where this is, just kind of like keeping my eyes strained on one area and then looking for movement, like you would do in... I don't know. That's what I would do in that scenario.
All right. So you wish to try to focus then, essentially.
Yeah.
You've got a general idea.
Okay.
So if you'd like to, if you want to take a fire or if you want to throw something, tell me what you want to do, since you feel like you've got a general idea.
I'm gonna cast glitter dust on the area as close to where I can get it as possible.
Glitter dust. Okay.
Yep. I can click it for you.
I got it.
There you go.
Oh, perfect. Cloud of glitter dust particle covers everyone in the area, causing creatures to become blinded and visibly outlining invisible things. For the duration of the spell, all within the area are covered by the dust, which cannot be removed and continues to sparkle until it fades. Targets lose, so creatures and objects within a 10-foot radius. Okay, so this is range area. You're just hitting an area. So I'm going to give you a chance to still miss him, all right?
Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
Given that you still have an area spell, I'm going to go ahead and give him a smaller chance of failure to remain hidden. So give me a 20% range you do not want.
1 to 20. Well, 1 to 21.
Got it. 95. I'm glad you said low as opposed to high. Sure enough, the moment that you cast glitter dust, it immediately outlines his figure.
Stay a while.
What does this look like? What kind of glitter dust is it? Is it all like radiant pink or fuchsia?
It's gonna be white, because that's the color of my power when it's going through my veins, and I'm channeling anything. It's white, so it's gonna be this like almost snow that fires out.
Very cool.
Very
You just
bright.
fucking spray anthrax at him, dude?
Yeah, I just sprayed him with like Clorox.
Yikes. That's rough. You succeed. You cast this upon him. Let's see. All within the area are covered with dust which cannot be removed. It starts until it fades each round. At the end of their turn, blinded creatures.
Oh yeah, he has to make a DC 18 will or be blinded for I think 1 round.
Sure. Ooh, I'm gonna use some of my pool of D6 that I have here.
That's fine.
I didn't think you guys would mind too much. I got it. I beat it. Cort. Cort.
So I can see him now because of the glitter dust, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, this is correct. He is illuminated. Remember, these are people that you've never met before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna pull out my sword, step forward, point it at him, and say, "Surrender now, or this will hurt." And I'll hold.
You hold action.
Or, well, I guess I won't hold. That'll probably be it.
You draw your weapon, and you say, "Surrender now, or this will hurt."
Mm-hmm. I kind of step forward, but I'm not attacking quite yet.
Okay, that's... You drew your weapon. He's still... Okay, so he's like 10 to 15 feet away from you.
Can I step up so it's 10 feet away?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. And so he's 10 feet. I mean, that's still outside of your range. Not outside of your throwing range. Remember, you can still throw your weapon with some accuracy at a throwing range.
Oh, I should also mention to you.
Please don't tell me you have throw anything.
Oh my god.
No, see, Bub, I have better.
Throw everything.
He's got catch off guard.
Mm-mm.
You have lunge.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's
but,
horse
I'm gonna...
shit.
He's gonna Zen Shao, or no, he's gonna Fiora dash in front of him.
Yeah.
Let's say if he had a spear, it would be a Zen Shao dash.
Honestly, I need to make a fighter that has throw anything, where I just base it around throwing various weapons at people.
God.
Yeah, well,
Not
did
a
that.
fighter that uses a
Remember
bow.
when I
Or...
picked up a bag of 36 dog slicers? Do you remember that?
Just
Sakata came back.
just chucking them.
And then they did like 1d3 damage as much as punching them or throwing a rock, but
But that'll be my turn. I'll basically ready my sword in front of him.
Okay, so you're
Holding it.
basically going to draw and move. So
Yeah.
I'll equate that to your move action. You technically still will have a standard,
No,
Um, and you'll hold. Okay, sounds good. Jacob. Jakob, what do?
Well, I'd imagine that I'm pretty aware that I have this shank in my side, so I'm not moving. No, he's pretty much gonna be half squatted there on the steps of the church. But oh shit, I really don't want to go digging into a wound. Would I be able to use Mage Hand to try and pull this shaft out?
Okay,
That's
so
the first time you had to use that.
I believe that in this case you may see some difficulty. I would make you consistently make saves to maintain your focus on this.
Right. I'd imagine that this is going to carry a concentration check because, after all, this is probably hurting a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be just kind of lean down on the steps, eyes closed, and trying to mage hand this shaft of metal out from between my ribs.
Sure, give me a fortitude save.
Yeah, because, I love those. First, let's get that fort out. Bam!
Okay.
18.
All right.
I'm rolling low tonight.
All right. That yeah. All right. So you cast Mage Hand. As you cast Mage Hand, you have basically sprawled your body out with a way for this hand to find its way to the wound, slowly sprawl it open, and flinch at the blade, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily coalesce until, like, this ghostly list. I'm aware of an object that I'm able to go ahead and grasp with magic powers and try and back out.
Well, I mean, you can't cast it inside of a space. You can't cast Mage Hand inside of a person. So if you would like it to enter something, it will have to have some sort of form.
Okay.
I mean, even if it's like a very thin form, that's fine. But unfortunately, you can't cast Mage Hand in people. That would make for an entirely interesting game. Horrifying, yet interesting, because I know it would be used.
Can I shock a con?
Brain squeeze!
Yeah. It would be horrifying. Alright, so your Mage Hand starts to take form, and you begin to flinch open the wound. Your
Right,
fortitude
and-
is enough. You're able to kind of muscle through this. Give me concentration to maintain your spell.
All right. 24. Rolling low tonight. Jesus.
You know, that's fine. That's totally fine. That's enough. You're able to maintain your spell. Let's see. Xander, please give me a perception.
Now, do we want to go ahead and imagine, see how much of the blade comes out, or where are we just saying it comes out?
Ulhime, when you peer down at the wound, the moment that the mage hand begins to flinch the wound open, black, liquid-like tar begins to pour from the wound.
So it's a poisoned blade.
Potentially.
Nobody said I bleed red.
There's an accuracy in that. As you begin to flinch the end of the blade, something happens, Sniper. The hand slips. It abruptly removes itself, and when you turn to glance down, it's holding a strip of metal that is blackening, losing its rigidity and stiffness, and it's becoming a bubbling pool of this black tar.
This is what just came out of me.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
thank God I pulled that out.
That
So
was
he got
only a piece of it.
Oh.
Just lay on your side and let it pour out.
Just let it drip out.
Klaus! Klaus, you're up.
It's me. So has the fuck, what was it called? Is it glitter dust? The name of that
Yes,
spell?
yes.
Yeah.
Has the glitter dust adequately revealed him to us?
Yeah.
Or is
He's got a minus 40 to stealth checks, so he can try.
Yeah, that's true.
I bet Belper would still nail it.
Probably. Plus 46.
How far away is the assailant gotten at this point?
He's still, he hasn't had a chance to move. My next move is immediately after yours in initiative.
Okay. Gotcha. Help Jacob. Hurt some guy.
Run away.
Help Jacob.
You see this new figure, this
Hurt.
kid, standing with what kind of weapon are you using? Is it a bastard sword? Very, very clearly point curtly in the direction of this individual. He's opened with threat. You can see that the kid is definitely built on mobility, not on strength so much, but he has some power that seems to be skulking behind this armor.
Well, he can handle it, I'm sure.
You do see that something is pouring out of your ally at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to Jacob and I'm gonna go ahead and throw a detect poison out.
Detect poison. Yeah, that's good. You throw it out there immediately. It's standard action, and when you do, you can determine that he has in fact been poisoned. Give me a DC 20 or higher wisdom check. Oh, that's so close.
That's so close.
You cannot
that on
immediately
purpose?
determine.
Yeah.
You cannot immediately determine what it is,
Close
but
to
you
the
definitely know that he's
actual-
been poisoned.
All right, fair enough.
On my go. The figure, knowing that he's outmanned at this point, knowing that he's been found despite his invisibility, he releases invisibility. And as he releases invisibility, he starts to attempt to remove this horrendous amount of glitter that covers his person. You see him batting at it. He's not even afraid or worried at the fact that he just put a poisoned blade in your friend. After he brushes himself off, he drops to his knees and places his hands up.
Seeing that he surrendered.
You guys just got 2 luck rerolls for the record.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you so much. Wandering Silence, I appreciate that, man. Very kind of you.
Wow.
What do you guys do?
I mean, he already gave up, so...
It's like he's accepted his fate.
I mean, I'm not gonna kill him, but...
Yeah, Jacob, from his point, is going to see the guy going to his knees, and he's just going to look to Ulhime and Klaus. Bind him! Get the guard!
Yeah, I'll look to Cort. Please, go get a guard. I'll hold him here.
Who do you say that to?
It's Cort.
Cort?
Okay, so the one that is currently holding a blade to him. All right.
Yeah.
You-
That's Cort isn't gonna run away. He's gonna sit there with his sword like focused on him. Can you just deal with him already? Please? If we have to go find someone, this will take way too long.
The figure says, it matters not. The blade is poisoned. Your friend will die within the hour.
You will still serve with justice.
I only serve a greater justice, and in a world without his blood is all that matters.
Your justice is blind.
Blind, I think
Pointless.
not. I've served my purpose. I've served the power that I've offered myself to for quite some time.
Give me 1 second. My dad's calling me.
Leaning up off the step, Jacob's going to look to the others. Now isn't the time to talk.
Give me a fortitude save.
Oh, joy. Let's go ahead and try this again. Even worse, 15.
You start to get a tingling sensation in your face. Particularly your lips. You notice the motor movement of your facial, all the bits of your face. They seem to be delayed. There's a strong delay on everything. When you begin to speak, it's almost as if your lips seem to not react immediately. You have to coerce them forward.
But yeah, leaning over, he'll kind of start stretching across the steps. Kind of trying to put the open wound lower, and getting dizzy. He's just going to stop trying to talk and wave them on.
Klaus, do we have a set of manacles? I thought we did.
Not sure. I've got a healer's kit.
All right.
That's the best I got.
Right.
Right now,
back in the day.
do we have any rope or anything?
I'm
in
assuming
the
you
group?
guys would be asking this aloud, like, do you have manacles? dude?
Yeah, I was asked. Well, generally, I was
Cort
asked. I didn't know
would,
if,
without taking his eye off of the man, say, I have rope in my bag! Please, hurry! Kind of strained.
I would look to Klaus and Thelsa at that point to help tie him up, since I myself can't do it. I'm gonna pat him down. I want to see if he has anything else on him other than that blade.
Sure. I mean, he's a decorated warrior. He's got random odds and ends all over his person. You know, it's not. He's not exactly shy of armaments.
Yeah.
He actually
just
has
to be
a second sword on his back. One of them seemed to have been treated. You can see that there is some kind of oil or tallow across the scabbard of the blade that seems to be missing, while the other seems to be holstered just fine.
Does he have any potential antidotes or antitoxins on him? Because in the event that he himself might have been poisoned by one of these, seeing from looking at any of these vials.
He has, when you begin rifling through his belongings, he has a slew of what looks to be potions.
Boy, oh boy. If only we had our...
I'll hand those off to Klaus then.
Okay.
To see if he can identify if any of them are an antitoxin to the poison, just in case. Because I'm assuming that if he was an assassin, he might carry one just in case he poisoned himself or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, from there, I'll remove his other sword from him. While I'm doing this, like I have my knee placed on like his back, so that way he doesn't like try to get up, or if I see his hands moving, I'll try to do what I can to stop him. And then obviously removing his hood, so that way we can see his face.
Sure. You actually reveal what appears to be a man with golden eyes. His blonde hair seems to be mostly pristine. It's like he walked off of the set of a Hollywood film. His hair is cut cleanly. Ears are tightly nestled against his head. He has a very strong jaw, but he has golden eyes.
ASMRs.
They's pretty.
He is, in fact, very handsome.
Yeah, once we get all his armaments removed and he's just kind of essentially down into his robes that he had on him, I'll look down. What you've done changes nothing. What was your plan? To kill everyone of his bloodline?
That's unimportant for you. This is knowledge that won't help you. What if it were the case? What if our intentions were to end his bloodline here? Would that provide with you some clarity?
I'll flip him over and put my hand to his throat. How many more are you? How many more wear this emblem?
His hand slowly rises, and he wants to speak, but you're gripping his throat. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. I'll still keep my hand on his throat, but I'll loosen it just a little bit.
He doesn't say anything. He's just happy that you've released his throat.
You will restart. I'm not gonna let you spread this evil, this wickedness, this pointless violence.
Stop.
For nothing.
It doesn't stop with me. And it won't stop with me. Even if you end me here in these streets, or you jail me on this day, I will be freed by night's end. I operate under someone with much more power than yourselves. Thelsa, Cort, Klaus.
What do you want for me to check these potions that I've been handed out?
To see if any of them are an antitoxin to the poison
I meant,
that he has.
like, roll-wise.
I mean, you can tell immediately after he's handed them to you that none of them are antitoxins, none of them are antivenoms. They all seem to be healing potions.
I'll hand them off to Jakob and say, drink these as you feel the need. They'll sustain you, though I don't know for how long.
Yeah, feeling the numbing taking over, he'll still just kind of shakily grasp at the bottles and clutch them tighter over, and he might try to go pulling the cork out of one, but numbed fingers just kind of slide along, and he stuffs them in his, just puts them aside, laying his head down on his arm while he's panting and wheezing.
Klaus.
Feeling that numbing moving closer and closer into his core.
Right.
find Sunn. He might be able to help us.
I will.
He mentioned going to an apothecary. The last one I've seen, the only one I know of is outside, slightly on the outer ring.
I have a few ideas of where he might have gone. I'll hurry, but take care of him.
I'll do what I can. Thank you. I mean, looking over the emblem, let's see. Can't really do anything else with them.
Cort's gonna openly say, so can anyone explain to me what's going on?
This man right here is an assassin.
An
Nothing
assassin?
more.
An assassin, is this what you say to yourselves to help you sleep at night?
Cort's gonna, because he's bound up, and I'm assuming on the floor, right?
I mean, you guys have probably bound, I'm assuming at this point you probably bound his hands behind his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's basically like sitting on the curb like an episode of Cops.
Yeah.
Cort's gonna kind of like come over and he's just gonna kind of like crouch over and go, okay, you're not an assassin. Why did you stab him?
Why haven't you stabbed him yet? Have you been in his company long?
No, I haven't, but he's yet to do me wrong. So please, tell me, how has he wronged you?
That one there, the one bleeding out the blackness, those are his sins, fleeting from his body. You know, he's committed many crimes. Do you know what they call him, boy?
He's repented for those crimes.
He's repented. He is repented. Oh, lords above! The Dawnbringer has repented. May the gods strike me down, for I have committed the gravest of crimes. I brought justice upon a criminal. Why don't you tell him, this boy here, what you have, or what he has seen through his crimes, or what he's repented for?
I'm also interested in knowing because I have no idea why you continue to call him the Dawnbringer.
Cort's gonna kind of sit there, standing up with his arms crossed.
This man here believes that Jakob is the reason that the gods have died. That demons run amok in our city, and that the dead walk because of him.
Think
That his
not.
blood.
I know.
He thinks his bloodline has something to do with it. But even if that's the case, you accuse of an innocent man.
Innocent?
Stay a while and
Innocent?
listen.
Did you not find your way, as foretold, into
Stay a
Celestia?
while and listen.
Did you not bring about the cataclysm, which sent portions of heaven soaring into the abyss? Or am I mistaken? Have I been led astray the entire time? Is this device that guides me upon a path of righteousness, slaying the evil, has it been lying to me the entire time?
You may have been killing, shedding blood,
No, I've shed no blood.
but I doubt the people that you've killed.
Killed? No, my man, you misunderstand. You're mistaken. I've shed no blood. I have killed no one. This is the first blood that my blade have tasted. Nothing prior. I have only since trained. And this is all that I've lived for.
At this point, Jacob's going to try and redouble his efforts to kind of gather in his will and...
Jacob, give me a fortitude save.
Yeah.
Critical failure.
How does it keep getting lower?
Critical failure. Well done. Jacob,
Never mind.
you immediately seize into unconsciousness. His body begins flailing and kicking across the steps.
Seeing that happen, I'll run over to him.
A 4
Jacob.
and a 2 and a 1? Really?
You gallantly stride over, and he's kicking, flailing about. He's unconscious. His eyes are rolling in the back of his head. He's foaming.
Once again, Ulhime will try to channel his positive energy. Kind of just thinks to himself, he's just like, please still be here. Please. And he'll he'll like hold the energy in his hand before he tries to release it. Is it still the same blackened
A
light?
miasma begins to slip from your palm. You know that as if this were to writhe over his person, he may be swept onto death's door significantly faster.
Seeing that happen, I'll just have to back away.
Stay a while and listen.
So, Klaus, you said that you went off to find him, yes?
Correct. I would have cast Fly on myself and sped off to the nearest of the 2 apothecaries that I know of in town.
Okay.
God, I'm just imagining Speed Racer's theme song playing in the background as he's just zipping through the roads.
I'm imagining running through the 90s.
Me too.
Go, Speed Senior, go.
Or, better yet, Darude Sandstorm.
So, you want to take flight. Are you going above the buildings?
Yeah, I would try to make it as direct a path as I can.
Okay, all right, that's good. Give me a 25% chance that you do want.
26 to 50.
Okay,
Damn it.
all right. Give me a perception.
All right. If I gotta...
You should. Klaus, as you're taking to flight and you're moving head over the building, you spot that there are several troops of guards that are actively patrolling the nearly emptied city. When you're spotted, they see you flying over buildings and they begin their march. It doesn't take you long before you find the wee apothecary everything. The sign has been taken down, and it's being renamed the Bright House. You see Sunn at the door. He's pulling some of his belongings in, some of the copious amount of nonsense that he's accrued in his journeys with you thus far. When he sees you, he just shakes his head and he tries to quickly pull the door, but there's things in the way.
I'm going to fly down into the threshold and push the door open with all my old man strength.
Okay. All right. He sees you. It's been a day, Klaus. It's
1 week.
It's been 1 day since we've been back.
Jacob's dying.
Oh God, why? It's been a day, Klaus.
As he's
Hold on.
flailing about, I'm going to grab one of his arms and cast Fly on him and say, "Come with me."
He has wings.
He quickly grabs some
Fuck his wings.
some unguents, some supplies. You notice that he grabs a slew of potions that he's construed, and it's that meme of the guy like holding all of the fruit. He's like, "Oh, what do I do?" And then he starts to fly. It's clumsy at first, but he finally takes stride. You notice that a couple of potions seem to fall, crashing over buildings and breaking. Before he finally returns over to the point where you can see that it looks like Ulhime is holding on to his friend seizing.
Meanwhile, somewhere in the city, Jared snaps out. I feel a disturbance in the potion force.
Wakes up in a cold sweat. Oh God!
The waste! The waste!
You guys see him immediately as he descends. There is a slew of guards that seem to be following in tow. It'll take them a few rounds to get there, but you can hear them marching too, with the hut, making their way through the streets.
Cort's gonna pull his sword out. Is this a bad time to ask if you're the one I saw on that wanted poster?
Definitely not me. I don't know what kind of old men you've been seeing.
Give me a
Not
bluff.
Assuming adventurer
You want
for
a bluff?
hire,
Yeah,
I would
give me a bluff.
have picked up at least one of them.
Oh, certainly. You probably have a slew or a stack of wanted posters or missing peoples. Remember, you guys do have 2 luck rerolls.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that one to a luck reroll.
What am I supposed to roll against that?
It's going to be a sense motive.
Much better.
Oh, that thing I don't have.
I mean, you can still try.
Yeah.
Can't hurt.
Hold on, here.
You can try. He just looks at you and he's like, all right. And he nods and he keeps going back to pointing his blade at the man that's been roped down.
Hearing the guards coming, I'll look to Klaus and Thelsa. You two should get out of here for now.
Listen.
I need to make sure this one gets turned in. We need to stay here, though, to make sure Jakob gets the treatment he needs.
Guys, what should we do about this guy?
Do you guys leave?
Just
Yanni, I
would
want to hear.
Oh, yeah, I know. I would have just been listening to the story about how Jakob was the Dawnbringer the entire time, because I came in and we just kind of started fighting right away.
Yeah.
I had heard no lore about the area,
None.
so I'm kind of confused now.
Yeah, you had like
so-
Dickall, that like you heralded the call to adventure, right? It immediately erupted before you, and you just had that itch that needed to be scratched right away. So you dove
Also, get the
headlong
fuck
into
away
this.
from home.
Yeah, like you had multiple reasons to go. Even if you went widely unequipped, you went. That being said, you may be questioning the motives of your allies, and if they're actually allies at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink. And I'm just gonna say, this guy is, an angel just came and stabbed one of my friends, and apparently he's caused, all the gods to die. So I'm gonna reevaluate what I've been thinking here. Go grab a drink and recoup.
Oh,
I'm gonna
real
get away from this guy.
adult. Handsome dude comes up and stabs the tiefling just because I look like a devil.
Okay, I see an angel and I see a devil, and the angel stabs the devil and says the devil's a bad guy. I'm like, well, I thought he was a friend.
I don't see no wings.
Ah, shit, you got me.
That's racist.
Can't judge a book by its cover, I guess.
That actually is aptly true here. That is in fact racist. All right.
Super racist.
Hey, he's
What
been
can I
a couple
say?
times.
Angels have been the good guys, and demons have been the bad guys ever since I was born. So it's not changing today.
For what it's worth, before the game, I did receive some reputation. Everybody in the group got a cure critical, and Thelsa got an additional cure critical. So 1 to each, 2 to Thelsa. That's from Christy. She sends her love and hopes you guys don't die.
Christy's mad.
She
Thank you,
doesn't know
Christy.
this group, does she?
But the real question is, the demon actually a bad guy? Just because it's racist doesn't mean that in the case it isn't true.
I may have been
Caused
party
cataclysmic.
to the fall of Celestia, yes.
Yeah,
But it's
no,
totally not my fault.
Do you say that while you're seizing out
That's
on the
usually-
ground and foaming black out of your side?
No, I'm basically just answering chat because, well, no, all Jacob can say right now is...
Yeah, okay. Oh, man.
No, you know what's going on? You know in Wolf of Wall Street when he's trying to talk on the phone, he goes, "Yeah, I made it to the club. I made it back home and it was fine." Then it cuts to it and his car's fucked up and he's crawling on the floor.
That's him right now. He's like thinking. He's like, no, there's a reason why this is all good. And then he's on the floor, and just out.
So, Thelsa, do you sprint away? Are you?
I would actually likely follow the man that we had gathered, just to see if I can try and pull any other information that intimidation didn't draw out of him. Eventually, they're going to lock him in a cell or something, and I'd like to actually have a talk with him instead of holding him against the ground.
So, are you staying then, or are
Yeah,
you?
no, yeah, I would be staying.
Okay.
I'm not opting to try and find aid for Jacob, but I'm going to be with this person to see if I can find a bit more information about what's going on, because I feel like I've been left out of a big part of the story. Also, I didn't need to roll that. I'm not doing that.
He's just like, I'm right here. Right here.
Cast it on the guy we just captured.
Who's the big boy? Who's the big boy? Perfect.
Take me and run away.
Perfect. Okay, how about you, Klaus? Are you jetting? Are you staying here? What's this look like?
I don't want to leave,
Okay.
but I also don't want to get thrown in jail. So I'm gonna get up on the roof, peek my little old ass head over, keep watch on things.
And before rain of arrows.
Okay. All right. God damn it. All right. Juicy.
Is Jacob going to jail
I mean, if you don't die from the poison.
again?
Jacob might be going to jail
Again?
again.
He's gonna
Oh, yeah.
end the character right where he began.
I'll wait for the guards to show up, and when I see him, I'll flag him down.
The guards are going to see you. Yeah, you are going to look very, very funny, to say the least. A one-armed orc flagging down a troop of guard that are coming for a very geriatric wizard. They spot you. It didn't take much. They spot you, and they begin charging down the street. There are probably 24 guards.
That's fine. I'll wait for them to get there. And
That's
then,
fine. They're easy.
Just
They-
make sure.
They're led by the Blue Duke.
Fuck.
I mean, as of right now, I'll wait to make sure that Sunn's working on Jacob. So, I mean, if
Okay.
anything's happening with that right now.
When they arrive, they levy their halberds in a position between aimed and offensive and resting. So it's kind of like against their boot, but still cocked downward. You see the Blue Duke step forward. This very large man. For those of you that are at home, and the players, if you can recall, describe the Blue Duke to them, if you can remember
Yeah.
him.
Big, tall, blue Tetris piece. Like one of the L pieces.
One of the L pieces. Anybody else that can describe an NPC not like a Tetris piece?
He was half giant, you said, right?
Not half giant.
But he was.
Half orc.
He was half orc,
Let me see if I can
half something else, half
pull this
troll.
information. He's in fact
Got
half.
big Duke energy.
What the fuck?
Klaus knows a little bit more about him than anyone else, though.
Does Klaus know that much about him?
Yes,
Go.
I mean, this would be the first time Cort would see him, that's for sure.
Klaus knows what Gaia told him.
Mm-hmm. Which is that he is not what he seems.
He's a
He's
much
actually
uglier man
Malgrim.
underneath of whatever facade he's putting on.
He's vampire half orc.
Okay.
It's actually Malgrim underneath of a skin suit.
What you saw is you actually just saw the zipper.
So what you've seen up to this point is the Blue Duke as a half-orc. He's exhibited quite a few profound spellcasting abilities. He almost single-handedly took down the flame threat, if you can recall the
Flame
three
elemental that-
the flame elementals.
Yeah.
Well, it's 3 of them that merged into 1.
Yes. So he, at this point, has not quite ascended to captain of the Guard of Cauldron, but he is working very closely with Kiana Green and now Jared Skellering. Now, why... I'm curious, why do you... You know what? I'll hold. I'm going to hold it there. I'm going to leave it up to this point. The Blue Duke approaches, looking to each of you. And he says, something's not right. Where is he? The old one.
Ulhime will step forward. He's not here at the moment. But we have another problem. And then he'll motion down to the assailant, and he'll point over to Jacob. An assassin.
Can anyone here verify this?
Cort will raise his hand in the corner.
Yeah, Jacob's able to verify that he is a victim dying on the ground.
Cort, I'm assuming the Blue Duke will eventually see.
I'm gonna give like the 50% hand. Kind of an assassin.
He kind of ran up and stabbed him, but maybe he deserved it.
I don't know if he's an
Cort-
assassin because he's like a vigilante.
Cort's gonna.
He's like Batman, but more stabby.
Go ahead. What does Cort do?
I can vouch for the fact that he stabbed him. I can't say whether his motives were impure or not, but he definitely stabbed him.
He purely wanted to stab him.
If his motives were impure.
I mean, at this point, he just told me that you caused the death of heaven itself, basically.
Ulhime will pick up the chest piece that he was wearing and then show him the emblem that was on it. This is what he wore.
I don't care what he's wearing. Where is Klaus?
As I said, he's not here.
Give me a bluff.
Well, I don't know if he actually took off.
You
He
do.
just said he was leaving, right?
You do. Like, you saw him go to the roof. Like, everybody here saw him go to the roof.
Oh, okay, then. That's fine.
Except me, I don't see shit.
That's the one thing he sees as he's nearing death's door, is Klaus just chilling on the roof.
Yeah, he's giving him the finger. That's the last thing he sees before he dies.
Just bye-bye.
Ouch.
Go first.
Okay. He hears what you say, glances down at the bleeding man, looks over to the chirurgeon that is nestled over the top of him, and he draws a sword from his side. Tell him to stop. And he points to Sunn.
Oh boy.
Sunn,
Nope.
you kind of glance back over.
I will stand between him and his drawn weapon. I'm not gonna let a man die.
Then you can stop lying to me here. Call your ally Klaus. He's immediately wanted for questioning.
Ulhime will stay silent.
Move yourself, or I will immolate you here. You see him bring his hand up, and flame begins to nestle in his palm. Klaus, as you peer over, he points a sword over at Sunn. Ulhime steps in his way, and you can see him bring his hand upward, and flame seems to trickle over his fingertips. Ulhime stands there in preparation.
I'm going to relieve myself of this roof and kind of move myself over the group of guards. I assume they're all flanking behind
Yep.
Blue Duke. So while I'm positioned over them, going to call down, Duke!
It doesn't
What
take
business?
long. Okay.
I thought he was going to be putting out advertisements for new members.
He turns, faces you.
You're wanted. People would like to speak with you. There are several individuals missing in the town. And it all leads back to you.
How do you figure?
I usher the call of Cauldron. I don't question. I'm just here to bring about what is ordered. Speak with Skellerang or Kiana Green.
Don't you think you could have just told me that rather than plastering wanted posters all over town? Rather than threatening my friends? Clearly there's something more going on here.
Cort's gonna say from behind, "Wait, you are the one on the poster?" And he's gonna kind of like pull it out and do the...
I'm just gonna hand Klaus one of the posters. I presume he'd already seen it, but
Klaus is kind of like flying right now.
Ulhime had taken. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna try and hand it to him.
I'm actually gonna make it to him.
Okay.
Actually, I could do that, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna hold it out to him.
Hey, Klaus.
This is what they say you did.
Klaus, when you descend and you take onto this this wanted poster, there are actually multiple people that appear to have been missing in the town, some of which you can recall are immediately tied to you, others not so much.
Swear to God, Keegan's gone.
Others not so much. You will note immediately that there was a half-giant that is missing. You'll note that Artis is missing.
So which are the ones that I don't necessarily immediately recognize as being tied to myself?
There's a boy, which it's a long memory, but you can recall that there is a boy several hundred, I would say about 100 episodes ago or more, that went missing, that was tied to your name.
The baboon boy?
No.
The beholder.
That's right, the beholder.
Oh God.
One of
Behold.
the kids from the orphanage.
That's right. The half-orc at the orphanage is also missing.
The
And-
vampire camel children.
And Keegan Gelv is missing.
God damn it.
He is missing. Fuck.
It was a good locksmith.
He was. He built us really
looking-
good locks.
Looking up from the poster, I'm gonna turn towards the guards and I don't understand why all the theatrics, why the threatening.
I'm only responsible for half of these.
You were seen multiple times in the town. Then you disappeared. No one knew how. When spoken to with Skellerang, he said this was the best method of drawing you out.
I'll speak with Jared, but only if you'll stop harassing these people and get them some real help.
They will be brought in for questioning as well.
Do you mind doing that after our friend is no longer on death's door?
We'll usher them. You'll be escorted. They'll be escorted, and so will you. I have been personally tasked with escorting you.
I'm clearly not invalid. I can make my own way there.
Well, I believe that to be accurate. It's my job.
Well, it's completely unnecessary. But if it'll get you to leave them be, stop threatening them with whatever powers you do hold, I suppose.
He motions to several men, and
He says, stay with them. Take them where they need to go, but don't let them out of your sight.
many of the others,
Just return to your posts.
he tells two others to come with him.
And the assassin?
You'll be treated as a potential victim. Be staying with you.
He just tried to kill my friend.
He seems to be unarmed.
Because I disarmed him.
Try not to use unarmed around Ulhime.
Are you supposing that he is still a threat?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I don't believe that to be the case. Boy. Calling out to you, Cort. If he attempts to step out of line, remove his head from his body.
He'll kind of like snap to it and go, "Yes, sir," and then kind of like he'll ready his blade and just kind of point.
You see, for the first time, the Asimir turns and he looks at the Blue Duke, not really knowing what's happening, and he sees the order of his decapitation if he steps out of line. And you actually see warranted concern. You don't know how he's gotten into this town. You did hear him say that he has been, or he will be freed by the night's end. But this is the first that he's heard of his potential slaying. Yeah.
When Cort holds his sword to him, he's going to say, "Please, sir, don't act up. It's going to hurt a lot." And he's just going to kind of ready himself.
He begins to say something, kind of under muttered breath. Give me a perception, please, Cort.
Okay.
Thelsa, you as well.
Okay.
Who first? 17.
28.
Okay. Under his breath, he seems to say, I don't think I'll be held long. Especially when the others find out.
Cort heard that, right? Both of us did?
Yes.
Cort's gonna, because the Blue Duke's still there. He hasn't left yet, right?
No, he's walking. He's gone.
Oh. Are there any of the other guards who are still with us?
There are about, I would say, 6 guards that are there to stay with you.
Cort's gonna call one of them over and, "Excuse me, can you please maybe see if you can get more men over here?"
The two of the men will rush over immediately, and they'll assist Sunn in lifting Jakob's body. Sunn will tell them, take them back to my building. I have everything that I'll need there. This is going from bad to worse quickly. I don't believe he'll live long. The guards nod. At this point, they don't want any more bloodshed on their hands. There's not really many people in this town to begin with, so having someone, even if it's Jakob, dying on them, it's something they don't want. They'll rush over to the Wee Apothecary, now known as Bright House. As you pour in, seems like not much of the building has changed. Everything seems to be mostly still left where it was. Most of the furniture still remains there. Actually, none of you. Wow. None of you have any idea about anything that's happened here.
Like our characters don't? Or are you talking about us as players?
None of the characters do.
Oh.
None of the characters do.
Really awkward.
I'd just be walking alongside the fugitive now, who's on Decapitation's door, because I think something's coming to relieve him of his binding soon.
I almost said fucking Sunn. Cort would straight up be walking, pointing his sword at him. Like, if he had to take a turn, even crab walking while just holding it towards him. I will fucking strafe around town if I have to.
Okay. Let's see, who would like to go under this interaction first? Do we want to go with Klaus in his interaction with Jared Skellering, or would we like to pass this over to the crew?
Let's go with Klaus first, since he's on his own.
Yeah, Klaus.
Okay.
I want to know what the hell's going on.
Trust me, I would too.
All right. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. Klaus, you know exactly where you're going. This will not be your first Bronco, if you will, in the accompaniment of an individual going to the guardhouse. The Blue Duke makes no small talk. He says nothing to you. Hell, he probably doesn't even look at you, to be honest.
Fair enough. I don't want to talk to that motherfucker anyway.
Just maintaining. Just doing the thing. Now, you know, right? You know some things about the Blue Duke. Was it Dea that told you?
Yes.
I believe so.
Okay.
Dea saw it when she was looking at him with her special eye.
Yeah.
And she relayed the message before she wanted to go get him scribed, but then we got interrupted.
Fair. You trudge through the city, making your way through the narrowly empty streets, before you finally find yourself 30 to 45 feet away from the guardhouse. The Duke and his men will stop. Do you continue on? Do you turn and accost him with your mighty knuckled fingers? These whippersnappers.
No, he didn't want to say anything the whole way over here. He must not have anything to say to me. So I'll just head in.
Okay.
Fuck you, Duke. Jefferson walk.
Good God. The moment that you arrive at the door, it swings wide. A familiar face stands before you. A woman. With short hair, pixie cut style cropped up, halberd slung over shoulder. And when she sees you, she walks by immediately, bringing her shoulder into yours. Give me a will save.
Hell of a way to greet an old man.
Klaus, the sensation of burning begins to stipple over your body. You know that it's the rituals. They enlight over your person, and you briefly get a vision. And in this vision, you see a demon standing next to Kiana. His long, tendril-like finger tousled outward, drawing a line over her ear and removing her ear from her head. He then touches her shoulder, and you see this hissing tendril wrap around her body, hides itself beneath her armor. The demon turns, body covered in spines and barbs, and it exits. It flees, returning to its plane? You're not sure. You feel like you've seen this before, particularly this creature. Give me a d20 plus your wisdom mod. You can't quite place it, but the building looks very familiar. You're not really sure. The last you can kind of recall about the place was finding someone peeking through a window, then running out, but the building seems to kind of look like the apothecary. You don't think much of it, but you kind of turn and follow her, and she seems to step away. With her pixie cut, it clearly reveals that her head is wrapped, specifically over the ear that would have been there It's covered. Do you walk inside? Do you say anything about this?
Probably best not to mention it at this juncture, so yeah, I'll just head inside and look for Jared.
Okay.
Some semblance of familiarity.
Fair. Fair. You step in. You know exactly which room it is. And you see the door is closed. Do you knock? Do you barge in?
Just gonna open it.
Okay. When you open the door, do you say anything immediately, or do you just kind of like open and walk in?
Just gonna open and walk in.
Sure. When you open and walk in, completely unexpected, you hear the slamming of wood to the ground. A body rolls, and Jared stands immediately. He places his hand out almost as if he's attempting to balance himself. He leans down quickly, pulling a chair back up, and then rebalancing himself. It's clear to you that he just fell out of his tipping chair.
Hey, it's better than what I first thought. I was like, he drops the door.
Jared stands, seeing you, and he goes, "Klaus! My friend! Klaus! Hey! How have you been?"
How have I been?
Yeah, it's been
Been on the fucking run, that's how I've been.
Why? Why are you on the run? What's going on?
Don't act like you don't know.
Oh, you mean the constant state of decay of Cauldron? Man, this place
wanted
is...
posters
This is...
with my face
oh.
on them.
I mean, it did its job, right? You came out. You're here.
Your little blue lackey out there nearly killed our friends. Our friends. Unless you've forgotten.
Wait, what did he do?
He threatened them as Jakob lay there, dying of poison. And then he wanted to throw the assailant in the same cell to give him another chance, I suppose.
Look, I'll have a talk with the Duke, but he's generally pretty good about not doing those kinds of things.
That's not been my experience.
Well, you're here, and everyone else, are they fine?
I don't know. Because I'm here.
And wait, which of my friends?
You raise a good point.
Because the last I checked, they were all dead. Man, being a part of the Fury sucked. Excuse me, Flurry, even.
It was what it was.
Look, I'm sorry. There was probably a much more couth way of handling the situation, but I can't just run around this town hunting you down. Oh, would you have just... If I just showed up on your doorstep and just been like, hey, let's go have a chit-chat over a beer, would you have just... Let's be honest. Let's be real here.
You and I both know neither of us have the time for that.
Hell no,
but if you
we don't
had
have the time.
sent for me, if you'd sent for me properly, just a message. That's all it takes.
I did
They're
send for
people in
you.
this town.
I did... Hear me out. Before you start coming down on me all condescending like normal. I did send for you. Multiple times. And every time, it was found that where you were, people were dying. Hell, I went to the one place that I thought for sure no one would be hurt. The Tankard. And what do I find? Multiple dead bodies. I get the guard to handle it. We sweep it under the rug. Come back a few days later. And Griffin's son is dying. Nobody knew where you were. I went to Jenya, and I said, please divine him. Show me where he is. Scry on this man. She said you weren't even on this plane anymore. But I know your stomping grounds, and I knew you'd be back. I know that this wasn't the best way. I'm sorry. But I had no idea when you were going to pop up next. And I'm sorry that something happened with the Duke. And I'll rectify this the best way that I know how, but... just... you have to take it for what it is, and I'm sorry. And that's got to be enough right now. Did the Duke actually race his, did he cut someone? Did he cast... Did he set someone on fire? Or was it an almost situation?
It was an almost.
Alright. Look, I'll get in his ass, okay? But, unfortunately, that's as far as that can go. Like I said, he listens really, really well. He's just a little scary, okay? He's just a little scary. You know, I've heard on multiple accounts now that you're running around with new people, that the flurry has been reestablished. Is that true?
You know it's always been a rotating door.
Klaus, what happened to my dad?
You said yourself, I haven't even been on this plane. How would I know?
Because somehow, you guys are tied up with everything that happens in this town. And I've done some digging.
I noticed.
Ho 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 ho. Different kind of digging. I didn't dig up my own father.
I fully believe you didn't. But some of these people, do you realize how long they've been missing? Regardless of the fact that I was around, they've been missing for